Hello everybody, good evening, welcome back to That's Football and the Champions League semi-final as Borussia Dortmund take on PSG. We're about ready to go here. You join me in the midst of Flygate. If you've come over from the United Stand, it really, you know me, I like my animal stories. Is a fly an animal? No, it's an insect, but we live in sinister times. I mean, I will explain. Anthony Taylor's the referee. They couldn't get any more sinister than that. But yeah, look, just to give you a backdrop before this game goes on, the fly has still not been located. I wish it was rest in peace fly, says Joe, but it's not. I've had my torch on my phone out. Basically, earlier on tonight, about an hour and a half ago, I was in this room. I heard a fly buzz. I closed the door. I was ready to smack it. Never heard it again. Started working. 10 minutes later, I heard it buzz again. Spent the next 20 minutes searching the room. Couldn't find it. Started my stream on United Stand. 25 minutes in, lands on my head. I knock it off. Disappears again. It's the most intelligent fly in the world. I don't know where it is. If it was dead, there is no body. I definitely whacked it off my head. I didn't hear a buzz afterwards. But it's definitely the most strangest fly I've ever known. Because it doesn't make a noise when it's flying. But it was making a noise. I know it's somewhere in this room looking at me, laughing. But it's weird. Flies are thick. They've got the brain, like they've got their brain smaller than John Terry's. Like they're not clever. And this one is my equal. And I can't bloody find it. I've looked under my computer. You know where they go and hide? It can't get out of the room. It's in here somewhere. And they make a noise when they fly, don't they? So, I don't know. Anyway, Anthony Taylor's the ref. I'm not on TikTok tonight, Ryan. No, can't be asked. The fly's got in my head. Can't get in that. It's sealed. Yeah, let's get on with it. We're ready to go here. PSG against Borussia Dortmund. I'll go through the team news, but I just want to start it off. Mark, who do you hate more, the fly, the goose, or the goose that tried to kill you? I mean, it's always, I suppose if you do enough streams, you're going to get attacked. But, you know, the RSPCA, they'll probably be moaning about it. Flies land on shit and then land on your food. So, have it. Let me give you the team news here. You can see the Dortmund team there, but I will give you the team news anyway. Jadon Sancho saying that it would be beautiful to win the Champions League. I mean, look, Dortmund played very, very well against Atletico Madrid in the second leg, which was at home, but Sancho was far from their best player that night. He played well, but there was 5 or 6 other players that played better than him. Kobel, Rierson, Hummels, Schlotterbeck, Matson was certainly one of them. Sabitzer was one of them. Chan, Sancho, Brandt, Adeyemi and Füllkrug. So a good team, and their bench ain't bad either. Some good players on there. Royce, Makoko, Malen, Soleil, Meyer and Micha. You'll recognise some of those. But this is the PSG side. Donnarumma, Hakimi, Makinas, Hernandez, Mendes, Zaire Emery, Rui, Vitina, Barcola, Dembele, Mbappe. I mean, this PSG side's very good. And then you look at their bench. Ugarte, Gonçalo Ramos, Asensio, Danilo, Muani, Mukiele, Soler, Barelda, Skriniar. I mean, Muani was playing in a bloody in the World Cup final. Ramos at Benfica was going to be one of the best strikers in Europe. Ugarte has a great reputation. I mean, the squad depth of PSG is absolutely incredible. I think they should be adding Marcus Rashford to that in the summer as well. I think he's the perfect replacement for Mbappe. A man will beg, a man will crawl, a sheer face of love, like a fly on a wall. Mark's Wall, says Michael. Oh, great song, Matt, by you too, actually. It's the only thing about a fly I like at the moment. What an absolute I've never met a fly like it. I've killed plenty of flies in my life. I'll put my hands up. But this fly is just different gravy. I don't get it. I just don't get how it's been so quiet for 45 minutes. And then it just drops out of nowhere. It's not in my hood, is it? It's in my... I'll tell you what. I'll tell you where it is. It's in my head. Rattled. I don't get rattled by abuse on Twitter. You know, I don't get nothing. But I'm rattled by... I've even got my torch ready, look. I'm searching everywhere. But they're not that intelligent. Like, all right, it might be hiding under a book or something, but it's a fly. It shouldn't be that intelligent. Little fucker's running around. The little fucker's walking around somewhere. Going up for another bungee jump. I will keep an eye on the match, but there's something sinister going on. Detective Bridge falls into action. I just can't figure it out. I just can't figure this out. It's watching me go, oh, I found it! I found it! I literally have just seen it. What can I hit it with? Oh, he's intelligent. He's flying on stealth. Oh, it's a big one. It is a big one. And it's got stealth mode on. This is the most intelligent fly in the world. I'm not joking. I just spotted it on a wall. I went to get my slipper. And I saw it from the wall. It just did like a 2 meter, no noise drop. This is like Halloween. I'm not joking. I've never seen anything. This is just not right. This is not right. Cheeky little bastard. There can only be one winner here. Maybe the fly in your soup for evening food, says Howder. I'm meant to be watching football here. Oh, you're a cheeky one. It didn't even make a noise. It's one of them big ones. You know, the big, like, blue bottle ones. It's massive. It was on the wall. And it saw me coming towards it. And it just did this sort of drop. With no noise. My God. Anyway. Let's watch the match. Fucker. He's out there, though. It's like Jaws. Without the music. It's a fly bot. Well, John, it would not surprise me. Better than Netflix. Hope this is a 4-parter, says Parker. This is going to get... Yeah, well, I've got an editor. They'll clip this up into a story. Let's get on the game. The Fly 80s movie, good horror. And Political Science says, if you could have played any role in any movie, The Departed, yeah. Or Godfather. Good. Yeah, this is going to be a good game anyway. This is going to be a good game. Okay. You know, I've never been this unfocused before. Little fucker. I'm rattled like a biscuit in a biscuit tin here. This is like Breaking Bad Fly episodes, says Deepak. Yeah, but there's no noise on it. Fucking hell. It'll be sad to kill it, but then he's probably thinking the same about me. Look, we all know what a fly is. How does it do that? You're going to need a bigger slipper. Good one. Anyway, let's get a few either-ors footballs in, wise. Dortmund against PSG. I think PSG... I mean, look at the wall there of Dortmund. It's incredible, that stadium. That stand is incredible, isn't it? I think PSG have to win But the away leg's going to be difficult, as we saw with Atletico Madrid. Dortmund at home, good side. It's very much like Real Madrid last night. You've got to come away from this game in the game. Because if Dortmund get into a rhythm, they could put you to bed. Goldblum and Goldbridge. Look, all I'm going to say is that fly should be making a noise. And when it's moving from a wall 2 meters in the air somewhere else and there's no noise, I can't speak. I've never met a fly like it. Well, we haven't actually met, but I've never seen anything like that. I think what it's doing, I personally think it's going around the corner, going around behind the curtain. I think that's where it is. I might be wrong. But I think it is. I think it's got a little home somewhere that it feels safe, where it can go and hide. I just don't want it to land on my head again. Does anybody know about fly culture? Anyone know? Is it coming towards the end of its life when it's not making a noise anymore? It obviously is in stealth mode. It's like that bloody computer game, Snake. It just knows not to make a noise, otherwise it will be dead. And mainly, I just don't like the fact that it's taking the attention away from me, because I'm a big narcissist. So this is just taking it. This is taking it away from me. Your chair's a bit dirty. It is a bit there. You're right. I need a. I don't know. I was saying this to my agent the other day. Like, I don't want to show off, but we do get a hell of a lot of people watching our streams. Chair sponsor. What about a watch? What's the most thing you see about me? My wrist, my hands, my eyes, sunglasses. You know, there's so many. Pizza, burgers, crisps, chocolate, perfume. There's just so many. If you're a brand out there, get in touch. I'm on LinkedIn. Get in touch. There's so much we can do. And it will benefit the viewer. Evening, Mark. Dortmund got well beaten 4-1 by Leipzig last weekend in the race for top 4. Interesting to see how they bounce back. Yeah, but Scythe, I think they're probably focusing on that, aren't they? This is like the Breaking Bad fly episode, says Deepak. Thank you very much. I've literally got a fly on the wall, Paul, yes. I can't speak. I can't speak. Put a blob of jam next to your slipper ready, says Oddie. I'll tell you what, I won't even pretend. If I was not streaming, I would take this room apart. Like Homer Simpson style, I would take it apart. Because it can't get out. I ain't got a window open and the door is shut. But why is it not attracted to the light? A young Marco Reus or a Musiala now, says Ben. I'll go with Musiala now because the problem with Reus was he was always injury prone. Mark, do you think this PSG project could start to be competitive in Europe with a top number 9 to replace Mbappe? Look a good side recently. I think what Enrique has done at PSG has made them the most appealing they've ever been. I don't know what you think, but I find PSG, I remember saying on previous streams in previous years, I'll love it if PSG never ever win the Champions League because obviously they've got money. But I actually don't mind if they win it now. Man City have won a Champions League, so why shouldn't PSG? So I don't really care if they ever win it now. And I think for the first time in years, I actually quite like the PSG project. You look at their squad, it's a good squad. And once Mbappe's gone, there's no real superstar there anymore. So I quite like the PSG project. I'd like it even more if Rashford went. I mean, the funny thing is, if Rashford went to PSG, I'd want him to do well. I would want. I want Sancho to go somewhere else, but I don't care if he does well. I want Greenwood to go and do well. Barcola is good though, says that guy. Yeah, but you need more than that. US says I'm not being offensive, but is it Malacia? Lucas says movies from the 80s and 90s that are still good. Dead Poet Society and Heat, very good. PSG are on a treble run, says Flying Biscuit. Oh, come on. I mean, they must do the double every year. Regista says, would you ever play in Soccer Aid? Well, I didn't get invited to the creator trials that Minnie Minter and bloody Theo Baker did. Thogden and Danny Aarons and a few other people. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't have got in. I don't think I would have got in anyway because Theo's a very good player and so's Simon. But it'd be nice to be invited. Stupid thing is, Robbie Williams, I don't know whether he still does, but he used to watch the United Stand. I know for a fact he used to watch the United Stand. And he runs Soccer Aid. So, I don't know. I'll never play at Soccer Aid because I think this is going to be my last summer. I mean, I haven't played competitive football for a very long time, but I've got myself reasonably ready to play a few games this summer. I mean, it'll be an eye-opener. I don't know how I'm going to play, but I can't. There's not going to be many years I've got left doing that. Would you rather your team break the record for least amount of goals conceded in a season or break the record for most goals scored in a season? Oh, goals scored, definitely. ZX. Good start to this game, though. I think PSG will do it. But I think if Dortmund can get a good result here, and they've started off quite well, they've got to take a lead to Paris, I think. What's wrong with Malacia? I think you know something, says Dante. Well, I do know, but I think a lot of people know. The problem with Malacia is that the injury is very serious, and the recovery from it has been probably double what they expected it to be. They're hoping it's not a career ender. They're hoping he can come back. But the reality is he could break down at any time again. So they're being very, very careful with it. A makeup brand should make contact with you in this channel. A lot of exposure since YouTube videos, says Howd. And haven't really seen this getting talked about, but Pochettino was the one who was pushing for Rashford when he was at PSG. So if Chelsea came for Rashford, do you think United should do it, and for how much? I don't think Chelsea could afford him, Robble, but yeah, I'd do it. Do you think Osimhen will go to PSG, says Arturo? I wouldn't be surprised, but they're going to have to pay over £100 million for Osimhen. You could get Rashford for 70. I haven't forgotten about the fly. I'm just getting told off for not watching the game. So I saw something today about Conte going to Chelsea. Now, that would be hilarious, wouldn't it? I mean, you just can't do that. You just can't do that. Would you rather be a vampire or a werewolf, says Pinhead? Oh, definitely a vampire. Vampires are really strong. I don't think Chelsea can afford Rashford, Zooks. You've got to sell to buy, haven't you? Do you think the fly is a chuff monster, says USS? I think it's something else beginning with C, ending in T with 4 letters, and it's got a U and an N in it. Yeah, but I couldn't see Conte going back to Chelsea. No, I really couldn't. I don't see why you'd get rid of Pochettino for Conte, really. Good tackle. Very even game so far. I'm enjoying this game more than Real Madrid Bayern. It's just they're just so equal, these two. Lovely ball in behind. Here's Barcola. I think Enrique's done a good job at PSG as well. Christopher says, why do you think so many managers fail at Chelsea? I think there's too much control in the board in relation to recruitment, and the manager should be that guy. The thing about the fly, though, it's probably thinking I'm up against a genius. One wrong move and he'll get me. And it's right. Do you still collect the Panini footy sticker albums? Just got the new Premier League one, so relaxing doing these. Keep up the good work, says Rob. And did I show you my book, Rob? Did I show you my book? Little present for you. Being as you did a £5 super chat, I'm going to show you a little present. Mark, do you feel like you have egg on your face seeing Sancho playing well again, says Donny? He's not playing well. Last time I checked, he's not running this game, mate. I want him to play well so that we can get some money for him. Matson's just been booked here by Anthony Taylor. Oh yeah, definitely a yellow card tackle. That, I mean, it's a bit wild, that, wasn't it? I thought it was a bit early to give a yellow card out, but I want to do plenty of either ors tonight. Actually, I'm in that sort of mood. I feel a bit more energetic tonight than I did last night. Anyway, chance to whip a cross in for PSG. I'll show you my little present in a minute, Rob. Don't get excited, everybody. I'm not getting anything organ-related out. Polar bear or a fly, says Fennec. Well, physically, a polar bear will slaughter you, but this fly, mentally, is torturing me. And Dortmund clear that. I'll show you the. Imagine if it was waiting on my book. That would be helpful. So I got this on a recommendation from my friend, my best friend. He said, "Get this: the complete albums UK football sticker collection, 1986 to 1993. My first sticker album was 1987. It's the first sticker album I can remember." So what this book is, it's that thick. It's every sticker album from that period, 86 to 93. And if you just go to a random page, like this is Norwich, and you can see what the stickers were for that thing. So it's brilliant. Absolutely love it. Just takes me back to being a kid. So yeah, I love the sticker albums. And Maurice Malpaz. Tell me the team. Oh, I'll play a little game. Godfather 1 or 2, says Fuge. Definitely Godfather 1. Javino, thanks for your super chat. Chips versus Rice takeaway and Bruno versus Brandt. Big un. Bruno's better than Brandt, and Chips versus Rice depends what you're having with it. Right, see if you can guess the team. Guess the team here. Still 0-0, don't worry. Guess the team. Nigel Worthington, Gary Megson, Mark Proctor, Tony Galvin, Alan Harper, Nigel Pearson. He's got it. He's got it. Give it to Daniel. If you said Sheffield Wednesday, you got it. Well done. I can do I'll do one more now, and we can do one later. I'll go a bit more recent here. We'll head towards the 90s. Okay. Guess the team. Oh, you'll never get this. You're never going to get this. It's too hard. It was St Johnstone. You wouldn't have got it. I won't do Scottish ones. It's not fair. Okay, here we go. John Pemberton, Paul Beasley, Glyn Hodges, John Gannon, Tony Agana, Brian Gale, Simon Tracy. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Gunnar Russ, Sheffield United. Well done. One more, and then we can play it again later if you want to. Somebody had already said that wrong, so I won't do that one. You'll never get this one. Gary Fleming, Ian Butterworth, Colin Walsh, Brian Rice, David Campbell, Johnny Method, Gary Birtles, Steve Sutton, Franz Carr. I can't believe anyone's not got it yet. Stuart Pearce, Des Walker, Nigel Clough. They're coming in now. Few got it. Forest, yeah. I was tough. That was 1987, so most of you were right up your mum's chuff so far. You're in her throat. Probably like your dad. Anyway, let's move on. Poll for Mark's hair. Little Rascals or Home Alone, says US 45. Wednesday, says Nick P. Thank you very much. Would you take Bettina at United, says Antonio? I'd take any midfielder from PSG at the moment. Hope you're doing okay, says Morgan. Thank you very much for that. Thanks very much. I'll do another one. If people like that game, we can play it again. It's a bit retro, but I like it. I like it. Can you talk about experience before starting United Stand? Your growth, your first subscriber to where you are now. What would you be if not United Stand, says GSM? Still be working in financial crime, in investment banking, I suppose. Hummels or Marquinhos? Hummels for me, says Shinobi. It's a good question because I prefer the profile of Marquinhos in relation to his speed, but I think Hummels has probably had a better career. Remember the Jaden text, I'm home. Bye-bye, Jaden, says Odie Grass. Very equal game in relation to the game. Not a lot of chances at the moment. In fact, no shots really. Nothing on target. Very much the sort of game you can keep your eye out for the fly because it's an intriguing game, but it's a cancel each other out game. And from a PSG point of view, they'd be pretty pleased with that. I mean, what I would say is it's pretty much gone the way I thought it would have gone at the moment. Both teams sort of cancelling each other out. Very, very close in ability. Maybe the home advantage of Dortmund balancing things out a little bit, although Dortmund did beat PSG in the group stage. You'll never beat Des Walker, says Mark. Yep. Poll maybe, either or. Zaire Emery, Mainu or Yamal. They're all different types of play. I mean, the closest is Zaire Emery and Mainu, and I think it's a bit too soon to say that. Ben Thornton says, Mark, heard that Robbie Williams isn't a fan of your Gary Barlow impression, so he ain't invited. Funny that, because Gary likes it. Thanks, Ben. Financial crime, like giving Casemiro 300k a week, says Reese. If I'd have been working in that then, we probably would have investigated it. Yes, you're right. Trossard or Rashford, says Junior Films. Well, it's horrible to say, but I mean, we can do an either or on it, but I think I know what the answer will be. And it's sad, actually. It's sad because I think there was a time where Rashford would win this massively. But that's what you call a fall-off. It's behind the ball, the orange ball. You know, if it was... You've scammed me there. You've scammed me there. You know, if it had been there, I would have been very, very, very happy. Gaz says, you're only negative on Rashford because he called out the United Stand. Mate, he called out the United Stand in October. I stuck up for Rashford for going out in Belfast. So there you go. Are you going to go and watch the Moors on Wembley on Sunday? I think I am, Sam. I think I'm off to Wembley on Sunday. I think I'm going to take Seb. Never been to Wembley. So I'm thinking of taking him because I really think it's such a massive game. I live in Solihull and they've never been in the Football League before. playoff final against Bromley on Sunday at Wembley. I just think it's such a massive game to go and support your local. That I think we might. Well, you can get tickets for it quite easily. So I think I'm seriously thinking of going. I know Liverpool are playing Spurs, but I'm like, what's that game? If Spurs lose tomorrow as well, what does that game even mean? Paul, maybe. Yeah, I've done that one. Thank you very much. Do you like Liam and John Squire's album? Says Mark Holder. I haven't listened to it. What's your favourite game show host for me? It's Forsyth or Monkhouse, says Josh. Free kick here on Adiemi by Hakimi. I like Edmonds. I used to love Telly Addicts. Oh, different time then. No mobile phones, living in the moment. About 5 channels. Programmes like Telly Addicts, Question of Sport. That takes me back to those sticker albums. Lying on the floor with my sticker album, round the TV, watching Telly Addicts. Oh, I love Telly Addicts. What a programme that was. Tarrant was good on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Phil, but no, good chance for Dortmund to whip a cross in here. Have you seen Man versus Bee, says Jack. What about Goldbridge versus Fly? You know what? I'm very right side centric here. Because I've seen it there last, I'm focusing there. And it could be making its way around above or behind. If we don't solve this while I'm streaming here, keep an eye on Twitter, because after the stream I'm taking it apart. Not the fly. I'm not going to get it and do an experiment on it. Like, basically, I normally kill a fly by just piece of tissue paper, feel the crunch, flush it down the toilet. It's very quick. You know, I'm a merciful fly killer. Like, I'm not in for any of that. Oh, miss kick goes for a corner. Mark, last game of Bournemouth play, the wing sprinted after the ball and put the cross in for a winning goal and flew off the adbirds, taking a risk. Rashford never doing that. Loving the live show, says Pantels. Thank you very much for that. You could see it flying behind because it's activated stealth mode. I don't know how a fly does that, as big as it is, but it's weird. The last 2 sightings of the fly were on United Stand about an hour ago. It dropped from above onto my head. I whacked it off, expecting to see it on the table, disappeared. And about 20 minutes ago, we saw it on that wall. I went to get my slipper. As I walked over, it just moved off the wall behind the desk with no noise. That's the last 2 sightings in the last hour. Madness. Trossard has beaten Rashford by 73%. Jonathan says, what about Trezeguet or Inzaghi? I think Inzaghi wins that one. Get the guy who cremates animals over, Mark, says Ben Thornton. You were going to whack off a fly, says Mike. Yeah, that's not what I meant. Did you ever complete a Panini sticker album? No. The closest I got was the Brazilian World Cup in 2014. I bought loads and loads of packets, and I went to... the only players I didn't have were South Korea. I was about 4 players short of South Korea, and I meant to send off and get them, and I never did. Andy Garrett says, you're my favourite YouTuber. Can you shout me out? Big shout out to Andy. Thank you very much. Mr. Nice Guy says, I fancy Dortmund for the finals. PSG does not really seem to play like a team. Liam, I never miss Super Chats. I'm offended by that. I never miss them because I go back on them. Murray Walker or Roy Murray? F1 versus catchphrase. It's Murray Walker That's not the name, is it? The catchphrase guy was... I can't remember what his name was. Star Wars versus Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings. You see, even the Flies. Lord of the Flies. Star Wars for me. Can we get McDonald's tomorrow? Says Seb Goldbridge. Yeah, we're not having a McDonald's. Start, bench, sell. 5 years in the future. Yamal, Endrick or Foden. Oh, I can't do that, Ronan. I'd say Yamal will be the best of those lot. Endrick will be second and Foden will be third in 5 years, I would say. South Korea wasn't at the 2014 World Cup. Well, they were. He checks. They were, you prat. Don't mess about with Goldbridge because I know more than you. Group H, Belgium, Algeria, Russia, South Korea. Now you've made yourself look a right prat, haven't you? Don't take me on when I know you've lost. European Trade says it sounds like Callum is in your head. They didn't host it. It was hosted by Brazil. I feel unhealthy in this room as well now. Roy Walker, that was it. Roy Walker. I think they're both dead, Murray and Roy. And Murray's definitely dead. Rest in peace. Guess how old... I love playing this game. Guess how old Murray Walker was when he died. Roy Walker is still with us. He's 83. And isn't that great? Murray Walker was 98. That's a very good innings. 13th of March 2021. Born 10th of October 2023. Sounds. Thank you very much. Yeah, this game is an intriguing one in the sense that one of these teams will play in the final, but they are very evenly matched at the moment. Flies like crap, so take a picture of match of the day and hang it up. I thought you were going to say put a picture of Gary Neville up or something like that. Peter Kay or Billy Connolly. Oh, you know. I used to be able to do Billy Connolly. Here we go. Oh, what a finish. Fulkrug. What a hit. I tell you what, that's a great goal. He's been played in. He's got the defender on his side. He's outside the box and he's just smashed it home. Absolutely smashed that home. Enrique don't look very happy. It is what it is, pal. But that's absolutely fantastic from Fulkrug. Watch the ball over the top. He is onside. Well, he looks onside. What? It's a long ball. He does really well. That for me is elite striking because his first touch, it's a long ball over the top. His first touch gets it perfectly at his feet so that his second touch is just hit it. And then it's pure power. I mean, I don't know a lot about this lad. I know he plays for Germany and I also know he plays for a team called Dortmund. But the way he's done that there, it's so impressive. It really is. It is just a long ball over the top, like I say, but the way he's took it down with his right foot and put it in front of him to hit it with his left foot, that is just perfect striking. Absolutely brilliant. The touch is magnificent, says ISO Magic. Marquinhos or Rudiger for a poll, says Bram. Good one, let's do it. Trossard beat Rashford. Lovely goal. Really good goal. I think Dortmund have got to make hay in the home tie because obviously in Paris it's more advantageous if you're the home team, isn't it? That's got to be the way it is. I think finishing it from there though, pure power. You'd expect the keeper to do a little bit better, But the touch and the power, magnificent. That's proper. That's proper finishing. That is, isn't it? Let's call it for what it is. 10 years living in South Korea / South Africa or Southgate as manager, says USS 45. Well, what's wrong with living in South Korea or South Africa? Oh, God, my calf's killing again. How do you deal with the abuse so well, Mark, says Richard? As sad as it is, you just get used to it. It's like standing in the rain. Once you're wet, you can't really get any wetter, can you? That was his weak foot, apparently. I'm gonna keep talking to you, but I am just gonna have a little bit. I've pre-ordered 2 signed books. Come with a message, says Rubble Bubble. Yeah, you have to see what it is. Thanks everyone who is pre-ordering the book, by the way. You're absolute legends for that. Love the support. So 36 minutes gone, and it's 1-0 to Dortmund in a game that's been very few chances, very evenly matched. Rudiger is absolutely battling Marquinhos in the poll. Christopher Wilkinson says, Ancelotti or Ferguson? Mate, you're having a bloody laugh. Ancelotti's a good coach, but Sir Alex, he ain't. Right. Security guard bridge. I'm just going to have to do a little bit of a walk around here. Just make sure that fly's not taking the piss. Which it already is, actually. It's already taking the piss. But I've got a good idea of where it is. I actually think I do know. But it's safe while the stream's going on. Because I can't get to it while I'm streaming. I mean, I don't 100% know it's there. I just think I do. I think I know where it is. I think it's... I think I know exactly where it is, actually. The little bastard. It's a shame I haven't got a spider. That'll sort it out. Little shit. Can't see it. You could sell a fly smashed copy of your book, says US 45. Kiel, thanks very much for your super chat. Either or, Ricky or Greengrass from Heartbeat. I only remember Greengrass, Luke. Off the post, have you read my super chat? Let me have a look, mate. I don't think I've missed any, but I'll have a look. Roger says, you'll go to Wembley but not Old Trafford. No one from United stand can cover one match. Admit you're afraid to go to Old Trafford, says Roger that. Mate, I'm very, very happy that you're on my stream watching something that you don't need to watch, that you clearly don't like. You, my friend, are the example of a sad individual. But thank you very much for your super chat. Really appreciate it. So you're so obsessed with my life that you want to observe what's going on in my life and tell me what I can and can't do. You could be watching The One Show. You could be watching a different YouTuber. You could just be watching could be touching grass, and you're that obsessed about what I do. I'll do what I want to do, mate. Happy in what I do. But fear does not factor into my life. Absolutely not. Fear's not been in my life since I was 16. I chose not to be bothered by fear because you only get one life. So I actually just do what I want to do. And if I want to go to Wembley on Saturday and watch Solihull Moors, and I don't fancy going to watch Manchester United play against Crystal Palace or whatever, then that's up to me. It's my life, not yours. Live your own. It's all we can do. Let me see if I can find this other one. I should be proud and happy, actually, of how people take so much obsession on my life. Oh, here we go off the post. Sorry. Would you say Harry Kane is world class? I'm asking, as I heard a caller on Talk Sport saying he wasn't, as he hasn't won any trophies. Well, being world class is very much a personal thing, of course. But he is world class. Yeah. He is world class. Rubble Bubble says, why is my girlfriend never intimate after she has been to yoga? She's not going to yoga, mate. She's getting stretched, but not by yoga. Armin, favourite midnight snacks? I'm getting hungry and it's 1 a.m, says Armin. I don't like eating after 8 o'clock. Nura, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Have you ever been invited, gone to an Eyes Wide Shut party? Would you go? I love the content. Hold on a minute. I mean, Sancho's not even been in this game very much, I don't think. Mark, Solihull play Sunday 5th due to tube strikes. Says AR6728. They're playing 2 cup finals. They're in the FA. They're in the FA Trophy the week after. Anyway, Dortmund 1-0 up. We're about to approach half time. Mbappe's been very quiet as well. Terrible shot there from PSG. Jedi says Dortmund are all over these fools. Everyone was picking PSG. Well, PSG were looking for a bit of a penalty. I mean, Adeyemi really did go down badly. They're not showing much of a replay of it, to be fair. Start bench sell. Rub8 says, let him speak, Simon. I've played the game. We're in London, aren't we? I'll let you decide that. Whose career would you rather have, Kane or Vardy, says Jose. I mean, Vardy's career is very much rags to riches, isn't it? And he won the league, so. I think Vardy's career going from the non-league to winning the Premier League is pretty cool. Kane's career is amazing, but he's not won anything yet, has he? AR6 says, Solihull beat my team Halifax. Sollywood Stewards down. Which is the better movie, Aliens or Predator 1? Aliens for me. Nag, one of my favourites. Maybe she's sweaty and she needs a shower before getting intimate, says Armin. Mate, if I did a poll of is she going to yoga when after yoga she's not up for it, and I said she's having an affair, she's not having an affair, which way are you going to go? Exercise is actually meant to be a bit of an aphrodisiac, isn't it? What's better, Champions League VAR or the Prem? Well, Champions League, Dame. They've got the better equipment. Heat or Pulp Fiction? Heat, Fouge. Yeah. I'm going to send a picture of this dead fly if I don't find it during this stream. I actually think it might be dead by natural causes. It won't have any... it won't be flat or anything like that. I think it's just... I think the reason it's not making any noise is because it's exhausted. And it's just probably walking around for somewhere to die. Mark, why does my missus keep coming back from tennis with white icing around her chuff? Oh, Carter, why did I read that? That's filth. Absolute filth. It was the icing, because I'm hungry. That's why I read it. I didn't realise it was going to go there. The Rock's a great film. It's very cheesy, but it's very good. Mark, if Leicester win the Premier League next season, will you present United stand watch-along in just your shorts, says Ben. Well, they're not going to. 4 minutes added on. We've had 2 here so far. Start, bench, sell. PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. Well, sell PSG, bench Bayern, and start Real Madrid. You says I thought the poll said mosquitoes, not Marquinhos. Well, Marquinhos has got 19% of the vote and Rudiger's got 81%. So there you go. Oh. I know what it's doing. It's walking around on the window looking outside. But I can't get to the window because it's all behind this. Tristan says, I genuinely hope Bayern beat Madrid. It's boring to see Madrid winning it again and again. Well, I think they are the 2 most successful clubs in have they got 14? Real Madrid have got 14. I think actually AC Milan are second. Real Madrid have got 14. AC Milan have got 7. Liverpool and Bayern Munich have got 6. I mean, Real Madrid's dominance of this trophy is just absolutely incredible, isn't it? 14 Champions League / European Cups is double AC Milan in second with 7. And you got Liverpool and Bayern Munich with 6. Barcelona 5. Ajax 4. United and Inter with 3. Juventus, Chelsea, Porto, Benfica with 2. Half time here. Let's stop the clock on that. Mark, can you name your top 5 places to have a crap, says Carter. And The Prince of Egypt or Lion King, legendary movies, says Fuge. I would say The Lion King. I've already done top 5 movies, Tom. Did it last night. Departed, Heat, Jaws, Godfather, Pulp Fiction. Drogba was the worst diver ever, says Stacks. Let's just have a look at the stats here. The Fly lives on. Yes. The Fly lives on. Why is that? There we go. Hello. I just lost all my stats. What a prat. Bam, bam, bam. Come on. Where are you? That's not what I want. I want that one. There we go. And I want to go there. Okay. So, 43% possession to Dortmund. PSG have actually had more of the ball, but they've had no shots on target. Dortmund have had 4 shots on target. They've definitely been the better team. PSG have had a lot more of the ball, but they've not done anything with it. Kylian Mbappe has been ghosting, as people say when big players don't have a good game. I don't really think Jadon Sancho's been in the game much. Most of what Dortmund have done well has been through Sabitzer or Adeyemi, obviously Füllkrug with the goal. But they have the goal at the moment, and I think really if Dortmund could take a 2-goal advantage to Paris, I'd fancy them to do it. They've got to take something from this game. I think they certainly need to take a win from this game. I wouldn't fancy them in Paris if they drew. Could you survive in Jurassic Park as the HPN? I need weapons, mate. You're not going to just walk around and get away with it. G says, hi, Mark. My name is Zuriel. Who is the greatest footballer to never win anything? Trophies, Ballon d'Or, etc. Have you got the answer to that? I mean, in the modern game, you'd have to say Harry Maguire's, not Harry Maguire. Harry Kane's got to be up there. Ancelotti or Pep, Paul, says Jack. I will do that. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to influence it. There we go. Where does your Italian heritage come from, says a legend. What Italian heritage? I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't come from me. Do you think I should go to England for university, says William. Depends where you live at the moment. I definitely think that there is something with PSG where they've got so many good players. I feel that they should play better. I think that's a fair point. I like what they're building now. It's less individualistic, and they're building more of a team. But as a team, I don't think they're as fluid as they could be. Ribery and Robin, or Rodrigo and Vinicius Jr., says Bradley. Well, Ribery and Robin had a very, very good reputation, but I really like Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo. But they're at the start of something, aren't they? How do I feel about Adeyemi, says ZD? Well, I think I've only seen Dortmund play 2 full games this season. This is my 3rd, and in every one of those games, it's been post-Christmas, and he seems to me to be their most. Look, people talk about Sancho, but Adeyemi seems to have a better game than Sancho every time I watch. Ribery or Robin Dunn, which actor would play you in a Goldbridge movie, says Carter? I think realistically, if he can do an English accent, I think it would have to be DiCaprio. We've done that one as well. Thank you very much. Right. Tea or coffee? Depends on the time of the day. When it comes to tea or coffee, it depends on the time of the day. If it's pre-11 o'clock, I think I would always go with coffee. If it's between 11 and 12, I could go either. If it's post-12 o'clock, I'm probably going to go with tea. Although, let's not dismiss the occasional peppermint tea, which is also better for you, but actually quite nice. So, yeah. They play next Tuesday night, and then it's Madrid against Bayern next Wednesday night. That's my understanding of how this is going to work out. My heart has got no feeling, so I'm still feeling. My oh my, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Yeah, I think they need to do a lot more. A hell of a lot more. PSG. There's not a lot of excuse for the way they're playing at the moment. Having no shots on target at all is not good enough. You can't score if you don't have a shot on target. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We are getting very close to 148,000. You're very, very welcome. Was actually having discussions today about the Euros and what our plans are for the Euros. We will be doing every single game as a watch-along, as we've done for every major tournament since 2018, I think. So looking forward to that. I do get into the... look, I'm not a massive fan of the international breaks when the proper season's running. But in the summer, when there is no proper football, I quite like the Euros or the World Cup. It's a bubble I'm willing to get into, and I'm looking forward to it. And I look, it's in Germany. I've never seen England win a major tournament in my life. I believe this is our moment. It doesn't mean we'll win it, but I think we will. What was your favourite position to play in football, Mark, and why? And when are we going to see you in management again? I love a bit of Goldbridge ball, says Jay. Well, I am going to be hopefully playing some. I've got 3 or 4 games lined up this summer, so hopefully it won't just be playing. It'll be a bit of player manager. So hopefully we can play a bit of Goldbridge ball. Fuge says, have you ever noticed how retired Spanish midfielders are good coaches? Guardiola, Arteta, Xavi, Alonso, Enrique. Could Busquets be next? Says Fuge. And without your glasses, you look like Andy from The Shawshank Redemption, says Tanishk. Peppermint tea, always good after a curry, says Carter. And this one's going to be controversial, Ancelotti or Sir Alex. Well, it's not that controversial, Jack, because someone did it 5 minutes ago. And it's not that controversial because it's easily Sir Alex. My girlfriend and I have got the same last name. Should I worry? Rubble, come on. Do you believe in separating the art from artists, says Viren? And how do you feel about Adeyemi? We've done that. Ancelotti has got 61% of the vote against Pep Guardiola. Not my vote, your vote. That's where we're at with that. That's your poll. We're not doing Sir Alex versus Ancelotti. I mean, we can do, but I just think you'd come across as an idiot if you voted Pep over Ancelotti. That's just my personal feeling. Flywatch. You little motherfucker, where are you? Taking the fucking... You know, if you're hiding under there... He wasn't as well. I'll give it a bit of credit. I know you. I know you. I know you. You can't do this. You fucker. Absolute shithouse. Yeah, I think it's won the psychological battle here. There's no two ways about it. It's definitely won the psychological battle, and but it will be a moral victory for it, and that's it. Nothing else. Absolute cretin bastard. Where are ya? Oh, it's not where I thought it was as well. Fucking hell. The mind it's baffling. It's baffling. It really is baffling. At this stage, you've just got to say, it's baffling. It's just not possible. It shouldn't be possible. Mugged off completely, says it's Danny. Yeah, definitely. Right. Difference between Spurs, Arsenal and PSG. They're all bottlers, says Sully. Ability to bring people back or increase people's health, says Jamie Grant. Can you and Kev do a Euros watch-along together, says Ewan. I think we did do that last time. They were good. What watch-alongs you got planned for the rest of the week, says Jack. I'm doing Chelsea Spurs tomorrow night. And Saturday, I think I'm going to do Arsenal Bournemouth at the weekend, at the lunchtime. Watched any good movies recently, Mark, says Jay. I'll have to have a think on that. Wardo, don't worry, I'm going to go and check them. Mark, I'm at the stadium. It's absolutely buzzing. We believe we can get past PSG to play another final. The atmosphere is crazy, says Reefer. Please can you call Pip a melt, says Wardo. Will you leave United stand to do That's Football, says Richard. Yes. And also... Okay, we've done that one as well. Ancelotti's beat Pep. 61% of you prefer Ancelotti to Pep. I've now been asked to do this one. Look, even if it's dead, where's it? All I'm going to say is even if it's dead, where's its body? And if I don't find it before the end of this stream, and I find it when I dismantle things, I'm putting a picture on Twitter. So follow me at Goldbridge, Mark Goldbridge. Ancelotti, Sir Alex, get your votes in. Thanks, everybody. Ba-ba-da-ba. So, Sir Alex Ferguson is winning massively at the moment. Have you watched Resident Alien on Netflix? As Who to Blame? No, I haven't. Chinese or curry, says Robin. Depends on the mood. Have you seen the Mufasa movie trailer? No, Fuge, I haven't. Mr. Flyer, whilst Mark looking for you, how do you feel about VAR, says USS. And hi, Mark. Who do you think is the best transfer from Dortmund to United? I think it was Mkhitaryan. What about you? I don't think it worked out particularly well. I thought Kagawa would work as well, but it didn't. Players just about to come out here. Yeah, I don't think we've really had we've given Dortmund quite a lot of money in the last 10 years, and it's never really worked, has it? So, yeah. Pick a film that best presents each of the top 6 clubs. Man City, Wolf of Wall Street, United, the Star Wars franchise. That's what I've got so far, says Robert McCarthy. Yeah, get in the chat and do that. I'm just sorting something else out at the moment as we get ready for the game to start up. Can PSG get back into it? Sorry, I've just been sent a clip from an absolute lunatic on Twitter who's clipped me up saying that I'm a big fan of Greenwood and that I'm defending an abuser. Yeah, we were talking about who's the better footballer, Greenwood or Rashford, nothing else. Anyway, Ancelotti has won all 5 leagues and the Champions League 4 times, says Tevin. Well done. Sir Alex is still better. That's a real background, Lewis. Yes. Will TUSFC make a return, Jack? Hope so. Hope so. It's got to get through this current career mode at the moment. Right, we're up and running for the second half. I think this fly is dead somewhere, you know. I really do think it's just gone and died. I've never known a fly that can just be quiet for 45 minutes and not move and hide, but maybe I don't study flies well enough. But I really think it'll be a picture on Twitter later. Rest in peace, fly. Fly high, my friend. You were a worthy adversary. Now, can PSG be a worthy adversary for Dortmund? I mean, the way Dortmund are playing, you'd fancy them to get the second goal. And if they do, I think that second goal is the thing that makes it very difficult for PSG in the second leg. Very difficult indeed. Have a little patience. Buzz, still here, Mark. He says the fly. Well done. Hi, Mark. Thoughts on the new Champions League? We'll see how it goes, but I'm not a big fan. I don't really like the idea of a league with 32 teams in it and you only play 8 of them. Good play by Dembele, goes for a corner. Do you think Klopp deserves a statue outside Old Trafford to do? It's not for me to say about that. Liverpool fans have to decide that. Love you, Clark Kent. Curl, says Mark. And Tony Stark. Thank you very much. Cross into the box, headed away well by Dortmund. Mbappe's been very quiet. Try floorball, Mark. The only ball sport you could play active with your kids. So similar to five-a-side. I'm with the UKFF, says Kel. Sounds good. First shot on target for PSG there. It was from distance, straight at the keeper, but it was Barcola curling one in from the edge of the box, but straight at the keeper. Teach European lad a lesson, saying Pep's better than Sir Alex. Yeah, but how old do you think... I mean, with all due respect, this is not ageist, but do you think European lad is in his late 30s or 40s? And if he's not, how can he judge Sir Alex Ferguson's career? Sir Alex Ferguson started managing Manchester United in 1986. Even I'm not old enough to appreciate all of Sir Alex Ferguson's career, because when I was in nappies, he was breaking up the Rangers-Celtic axis of domination with Aberdeen, winning Scottish Premier League titles and the Cup Winners' Cup and knocking Real Madrid out of Europe with Aberdeen. So I very much doubt European lad or a lot of these people on Twitter. Unfortunately, I have to call them chuff monsters because I guarantee they won't have seen all of Sir Alex Ferguson's career. Sir Alex saw off Wenger, Mourinho. He never took on Pep in the Premier League, so yes, he took him on in the Champions League, but Barcelona's team was way better. Can we call the fly McTominay? It's good at going missing, says Kyle. Thank you for your super chat. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Oh, I meant to tell you actually. You know, I was talking about last night. There's this program I watch on Sky where people go to the vet with their animals, and it's humorous stories. It's meant to be a program for people who like animals, but I watch it for fun because I think that it's just funny sometimes how attached people are to animals. I'm not talking about dogs. I'm talking about, you know, there was this story about a bloody mouse that they had an operation on that cost hundreds of pounds that the vet said you don't need to do it, and they said, oh, we'd like to do it. Anyway, lovely play by Adeyemi down the left wing here. I told you, he's the guy. Oh, Sancho slipped. He had plenty of time. If he hadn't slipped, he'd have been having a shot on goal there. And it goes for a corner. Bradley says, you missed my super chat. Bradley, I never miss them. I just go back through them in different times. I think some of you are just very impatient. Like, things are going on. United trebles winning team, Pep's Barca, current Man City and Klopp's title winning team in the same league. Who do you think wins the league, says Bradley? I don't know. I don't know, Bradley. I really don't, because it's hypothetical, isn't it? I'll say Man United, but there's no definitive answer on that. I mean, Pep's Barcelona team was stacked. Sir Alex's treble winning side was obviously incredible. They'd also fancy the chances against anybody on pure blooded mindedness and stubbornness as well. I fancy Dortmund to score another goal, you know. Although, here we go. He's got to get that into Dembele. Here's Dembele. Go wide left. Mbappe. Into the box. Oh, he's at the post. That was it. That's what Mbappe does. That is what Mbappe does. And they've hit the other post as well. PSG have hit both posts here. Unbelievable. Mbappe hits one post and then they hit the other post. How close was that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Unbelievable from Mbappe there. But they're coming again. Well, PSG now seem to have their tail between their legs. Is that the saying? Not really. Anthony Taylor's giving out another card here. Well, PSG finally come alive in this tie. And they're very unlucky not to be 1-1. Sir Alex, I'm going to close the poll. Sir Alex Ferguson, 69% of the vote to 31% of the vote for Ancelotti. The bit between the teeth, says Mitch, yes. Would you want Man United to win a quadruple if it meant being burnt at the stake, says Wardo? Mate, I'll block you next time. I'll just block you. Weird fucker. Come on. My head's messed up by this fly. I don't need your shit. Should we have kept Sabitzer or maybe going in for him again since he seemed to put the work in and loved to play for United as United since they beat Burton? Well, no. Look, how many second chances are you going to give players to, mate, at the end of the day? Spitzer's very good in the Bundesliga, but he had a chance at United. Yeah, he had a couple of injuries, but, you know, good shot by Mbappe there. PSG are starting to get chances now. Mark, The Undertaker or Stone Cold? I like The Undertaker. I never really liked Stone Cold. I was never really part of that. I'll tell you what I did watch today with Seb. He's really getting into wrestling and he quite likes some of the older wrestling matches. So we watched the Montreal Screwjob. Oh my God. Every time I watch that, I just can't believe what they did. Like he literally didn't submit and they rang the bell. Absolute scam. Well, PSG having their best phase in the game so far. Dortmund quite rightly just going a little bit compact here. Mankind, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Yeah, I don't think you can see that. I don't think you can actually watch that fight on YouTube anymore. It's all PSG at the moment. Now they need to score here. Another bit of good play by PSG. Cross comes in. I mean, that is a massive miss. He's about 5 yards out. Gets his head on it. Is it Bettina? Or is it Ruiz? Bloody hell. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult, to be fair, but he's got to score it. Yeah, he's got to score that. But Dortmund still looking threatening on the break. Well, not on the break. They're at home. I think we just had about 5 minutes of PSG and the best they've played. But now PSG coming away again. Even Nicholas Jackson thought that was a bad miss, says Robbo96. Becky says, I hope you're well. Meet Klopp this afternoon. He was lovely on holiday in Liverpool. Off to Wales tomorrow. Hope you're well, Becky. You too. Where did you meet Klopp then? Just saw him out and about, or? Dortmund have got a good defensive line here, though. Cold. What's this? John Cena versus Rob Van Dam for the ECW title was one of the best old school matches ever. Same with six-man Hell in a Cell with Angle, Stone, Cold, The Rock, Rikishi. WWE used to be epic, says Dan 5. Thank you very much. Samuel Jackson or Morgan Freeman, says Fuge. Fucking hell, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. That is a tough one. I mean, Morgan Freeman's done some absolute belting films, hasn't he? Let's not forget he was in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and he was in Batman with Bale, Shawshank Redemption. But then you got Jackson. I mean, he was in a good film based on a John Grisham film, A Time to Kill. Very good. Obviously, Pulp Fiction. Has Jackson done a better film than Pulp Fiction? I'm not a big fan of Jackie Brown. I think Mace Windu, yeah, but the Star Wars films are shit after the original trilogy. I think I'd have to go with Morgan Freeman as much as I like Jackson. I think he's got a better CV. Snakes on a Plane. What was that? He was in Deep Blue Sea, wasn't he? Got eaten. I've just ruined that for you. Sorry. You're probably not going to watch it. Unbreakable was quite... 7. Yeah, Morgan Freeman's got the better CV. He's got the better voice as well. Washington's the GOAT, says Kyle. Haven't watched the original Batman from ages, but that's a film from the 80s that would still be good. Anyway, remember I was telling you about this this program I watch about people who take their animals to the vets. It's quite funny. I don't think it's meant to be funny. I think it's actually meant to be for people who like animals. And I do like animals, but I just think some people go over the top. Anyway, this one I mentioned about where they took the fish in and they said to the vet, it's been off for the last couple of days. It's like sort of half on its side. The vet takes it into the room, says, wait here. Literally 40 seconds later comes back and says, I'm sorry, it's dead. There's no way that fish has died in 40 seconds. He's walked in and whacked it on the table or something. Anyway, they couldn't be spoken to for 48 hours. They were so upset. Then they went round their house 48 hours and they were still crying about a fish. And it wasn't even a big fish. It was like a goldfish. Good play by Sancho. Oh, what a miss. What a miss. And that would have been good for Sancho there because he's absolutely torn his man apart down the wing. Watch this here. Comes into Sancho with a bit of space. He has Mendes on toast. And the cutback is good. And for all his good play in the first half, that is a big miss from Fulkrug. I mean, that's bread and butter, that is, compared to the goal he scored. This game's on a knife edge. It's on a knife edge. If it goes 2-0 Dortmund, you'd put them favourites for the second leg. If PSG get a goal back, you'd say we're back to level again. Bruce Pallister, Ferdinand Vidic or Varane Martinez as your favourite or best defensive partnership? Well, the best partnership there is Ferdinand and Vidic. Ray, it's not even close. The build-up to Undertaker versus Batista at World WrestleMania was class, says Nick. Look, whenever I play these wrestling games with Seb, I'm always people like Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Bret the Hitman Hart. I don't know whether wrestling's any good now because I don't watch it, but it was amazing in them days. PSG on the attack. Do I prefer lasagna or spaghetti, says Lewis. Definitely spaghetti. Sorry, lasagna. Lasagna is one of my favourite dishes. Legion of Doom were brilliant. They're not even in the new wrestling game. I don't think there's any tag teams in the new wrestling game. Like, where they don't bother with them, do they? Like, where's the Legion of Doom, the Rockers, Demolition, the Hardy Boys? American Psycho is a very good film. I've read the book as well, says Guy. Oh, yeah, I read the book. Very, very good. Best voice, James Earl Jones or Morgan Freeman? It's got to be Jones because of Vader. Thuge. It's got to be. Anyway, so I've got a new story. This, you know the fish that they took in. Oh, here we go. Could be in trouble here. Hakimi done very well against Adeyemi there, actually. It's end to end here. Sabitzer, Brandt, cross to the back post. Ooh, I tell you what, there was a bit of a nudge in the back. There was a bit of nudge in the back. Guess who the referee is? I've added you on LinkedIn. Please accept me later, says Parker. Yeah. If you've got any brands, if you work for any brands, get in touch. What brands do you think could work well on a watch-along? I think watches, beverages, food, got shelves. There's loads of stuff we can do. Should have been a penalty there, says Rafa. Well, I think there was a bit of a shove. Favourite WWE match, says DJ. Undertaker against Shawn Michaels for the career. The streak or the career. Was it 2000 and... I forget the year. 11 maybe? Hardy Boys are associated with AEW. They're rubbish as well now, yes, lads. I think Mawani's coming on. How is Amrabat better than Sabitzer or Fred, says Premium? Dudley Boys are DLC. Bushwhackers, yes. How would you rank Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Paul and the World's End? Hot Fuzz by far the best. Yes, I agree. I like World's End. I'd probably put it third behind Shaun of the Dead. Paul, I think I stopped watching it. They call it the Cornetto trilogy, don't they? Anthony Taylor is the ref, says the boat. De Niro or Pacino? I think it's got to be De Niro, but Pacino's... I mean, that's hard to split, that is. Yeah, the Cornetto trilogy is Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and The World's End. Well, I only watched The World's End the first time about 2 years ago. It's good. That fly's got to be dead. It would have shown its face again. It wouldn't be able to just. It wouldn't be able to just stay quiet for that long. It's dark now as well. It wouldn't make sense. Rest in peace to the fly. I will find it. I feel like I owe it that. I won't find it while we're live. I think we've all established that. But I think I'll find it on a windowsill. Probably behind the laptop somewhere in that vicinity. Where it's just taken its last breath. Do flies breathe? Do they have lungs? And it said to itself, I'm not going to be squashed by Goldbridge. I'm not another Man United YouTube channel he's going to crush. I will go out my way. Everyone get your lights on for the fly. That's going to be draining my battery like a bitch. Actually, I shouldn't be doing that. Mark, do you think Sancho's performance could give Ineos a tough decision? Daily, I think he's done okay. I just think he's done okay. I I don't think there's any doubt that Sancho's got talent, but you can't doubt the fact that he didn't turn up to training on time numerous times. You can't doubt the fact that he didn't turn up in a United shirt numerous times. I mean, look, if Dortmund is if he's got a point to prove at Dortmund and that's why he's playing well, why did he need a point to prove in the first place? You're at Man United. Why couldn't you prove your point there? Like, I think he is playing quite well, yes, but he had his chance at United. He had his chance before Ten Hag was there. Premier League refs today are so poor compared to Clement, says Joshua. Cheetos sponsor for Man City Watchalong, says Pensby. Thank you very much. Midnight Express is a great movie, says Tom Edwards. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I was watching this program about the animals and I can't be bothered to tell you. I can't be bothered. I don't think either of these teams are anywhere near Real Madrid, to be honest. I don't think Real Madrid are going to struggle against either of these two. They're going to have to catch them a little bit on it. Is Sean Dyche underrated? 8 points deducted and still safe with 3 to go, says Roy. Look, Sean Dyche is a decent coach. Maatsen can't come to United. Danny is a Chelsea player. Cross comes in. Finish the goldfish story. Anyway, no, so I was watching this programme, the goldfish one. Someone comes in with a cat. And they said, you might not find it funny, but I did. There's loads of different stories, but this one was what I wanted to remember for you. So they come in with the cat, and they say to the vet, it's always been a very active cat, but it hasn't left its bed for the last week, and it's not old. And if we put food in the tray in there, and it's cat litter tray next to it, it'll use it, but it just won't leave its bed. We can't see any injury to it or anything like that. So the vet checks it over, and then it comes along and says, have you made any changes? Because it might just be a personality disorder where it doesn't like change. I'm thinking, what? I mean, all right, I didn't like it when I had a job and we moved to a different office, you know, but a cat not liking change. Anyway, the owners say, now you come to mention it, we got a puppy last week, but that's in a different room. The cat can probably sense it, said the vet. They can smell it and everything like that. So that will be it. So the owners say, well, what should we do then? Will it grow out of it? And he said, no. When you've got a cat like this, and that, you know, they're taking it that far, cats are very stubborn. So you know, you're either going to end up with you know, you've got a choice to make really. It's clearly very not happy about having that dog in the house, and you can try it and see if it does change, but the chances are it's just going to stay in that bed while that dog's in the house. So afterwards they speak to the owners, and the owners say, well, we've had the cat for 4 years and we absolutely love the cat. The puppy we've only had for a week, so we're just going to try and send it back. I was like, fuck off. The cat can go. The fucking cat can go. Oh, we bought a puppy and I don't like it, so I'm not going to get out of my bed. Fuck off. That cat would be in a bloody cage going to the cat's home, not the bloody puppy. I'll tell you that for free. That's true. Cats apparently, I don't think dogs would be like it. They're just too happy-go-lucky. But cats are miserable fuckers, and apparently they can have this personality trait where they just get really stubborn if they don't like change. Well, I'll tell you what, mate. You thought having a puppy was bad. Try being in a bloody cage with a load of other cats, watching for somebody to come and give you a new home, because you ain't living here anymore. Poor puppy. If you could remake, modernise a film, what would it be with a twist of Goldbridge added? WWE's dead, no first blood, etc. to censor now. Says Ray Cowley. Apparently WrestleMania was very good. I'd remake Aliens. I'd love to put myself in Aliens, and I'd be in Aliens. Oh, again, a good save by Cobble. PSG have been pushing. I think if PSG take away 1-0 from here, they might be okay, but... There's a PSG player down injured now. A fly just flew above your head. I think he's making his way around to all the viewers to make us look like prats, says Tyler. Rank Liam Neeson, Christopher Lee and Maggie Smith, says Fuge. I'm not that old. Christopher Lee... Oh, this is a great chance again for PSG. Good save by the keeper. There wasn't a punchline, mate. It was a story, Lewis. Are we too hard on Sancho? We don't know why he was out for so long, says Nick P. And Daniel Sturridge says, I'm having a cigar with my uni friends. You've saved my life so many times with your content. It's always a highlight of my day. Thank you, mate. Enjoy the cigar, Daniel. What do you think? Who do you think is better, Maguire or Lindelof? And who would you rather keep going forward if you had to keep one? You know what, Lee? It's been up and down over the years, but at times I feel Lindelof's got more to his game in the fact that he's more mobile and agile. But I actually think Maguire's probably better, if I'm being honest. But Maguire, the trouble with Maguire is he's got limitations. He's not quick. He can't play a high line. So, but I don't think Lindelof suits it that well. And Lindelof is ridiculously weak in a physical battle. So they're sort of... They have pros and cons. If you could merge the two together, you'd still have a slow centre-back, to be fair. Have I been to Doncaster before, says Lewis? Years ago I went to Doncaster because there was some swimming pool they had there where it had an outside bit. But that we're talking easily 30 years ago. Do I like Lego? Yeah, I've got some first. Denzel Washington or Keanu Reeves? Easily Denzel. Christoph says, I'd sell all United centre-backs apart from Martinez and Cambuala. Benjamin says he's got 5 cats. It's actually mental sometimes. R says, Anthony Taylor is such a bad referee. Donny used to be a good night out, says Paul. Can PSG get a goal? There's still about 20 minutes to go in this game. All right, fine. Best British actor and or actress, says Fuge. Mate, you're asking too many questions about acting. I'm trying to watch a football match. Do you think United would spend £100 million on a player? Not anymore, Daily. I don't think we've got the money to do it. Best British actor. I mean, God, you've got to go. I mean, look, there's such a wide range, isn't there? I mean, I do think Christian Bale's a very good actor and has been from a young age. But then you've got people like Sir Anthony Hopkins, very good actor. Sean Connery's dead, so I think we're doing The Living. Gary Oldman is a very good actor. I have 3 dogs, but now I got 4 dogs. It's bedlam, says Rachel. And Mbappe's overrated, says Tom. Disappears in big games. People forget he did nothing for the first 80 minutes of the World Cup. Scores 1 goal and given 2 penalties. Hat-trick, says Tom, 88. I have to find that fly. I'm not going to do it on the stream because it's not fair for everybody else, but I am going to find it. It's ridiculous, really. Just don't, It is ridiculous. Ryan says, I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a ref. Thanks everyone who's tuned in, by the way. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, look, I think if Bayern get to the final, I think it'll be an interesting final. But I think if Madrid get to the final, I just can't see them having much of a problem against these two. I said it at the time, though. I did feel, I mean, look, Bayern could do it next week. I mean, it'd be incredible if they do. They've got to go to the Bernabeu and win. They haven't got a lead, have they? It was 2-2 last night. But I said I thought that Man City, Real Madrid was the final in the quarter-final. And I think it will come to pass. But, you know, you make an interesting point about Kylian Mbappe. I was talking about this last night. Real Madrid, the way their recruitment's been lately, is really... The balance of the team is so good. Having young players like Vinicius, Camavinga, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Tchouaméni, balanced with a bit of experience like Modric and Kroos and Rudiger. It's a really good balance to their team. You bring Kylian Mbappe in. Mbappe's not balanced, is he? Mbappe is the guy, top dog. That could imbalance. It could make Real Madrid unstoppable. It could, and that's the plan. But it could also make them imbalanced. Good to see Anthony Taylor is consistent, says Barry. Hummels versus Mbappe with a high line. That's coaching, says Thiago Brown. Thank you. Oh, God, I'm getting tired now. Oh, I am. I'm getting tired. Getting to a point where I need a haircut as well. Trouble when you go really short is that would be considered with my old style. This would still be considered very short, but it's not. That needed to go wide right there, you twat. Best movie villain ever, says Lewis. I like Hans in Die Hard. Are you going to do Spurs-Chelsea tomorrow? I am, Christopher, yes. And Sahaj says, I believe Jeremy Brett as Sherlock was the best portrayal of Holmes and true to the books. Also, did you like Bit of Fry and Laurie, says Sahaj. Not really, if I'm being honest. I'm not going to humour you. Dalglish versus Keegan, either or. I'm not that old, Tom. I can tell you about them as managers. I don't remember them as players. Fucking hell, God, no. They were before my time. I don't remember Dalglish at all as a player. And certainly not Keegan. As managers, it's Dalglish. He won the Premier League and the title. Lovely playing to Hakimi. Lays it off. That's got to be a miss. Oh, my God. That's got to be an equaliser, I said. And he'd missed it before I could say it. Dembele on the cutback from Hakimi. He cuts it back to him. He's basically on the penalty spot. And he's put it over the bar. I mean, I don't know how you miss from here. These are the sort of things that when you're down the park, you just don't miss. You're not going to miss that down the park with your mates. Dembelance, says Candy. There's a big chance. A big, big chance. Harder to miss, says Gino. Well, Royce is coming on now. How many... There's something for you. How many international tournaments has Royce missed for... I don't know why I'm laughing. I don't even know if he plays for Germany anymore, but bloody hell, every time there was a major tournament, he would always get injured. Dortmund fans will say that's just normal, but it seemed to me every time there was a World Cup or a Euros, he would be injured. There has been some bad misses for both teams, really. Lovely ball into Hakimi. Mbappe. Goal kick. Pensby remembers Keegan. He was my favourite player with John Toshak. I only remember him as a manager for Wales. Should have been 2 penalties to Dortmund, says a random. Germany rules European football, says PM. You know what? I was talking about, we were recording the podcast today for tomorrow. And we were talking a little bit about the Euros and I was saying I'm not going to do the dark horse prediction this year. Like, Turkey. I remember Ivory Coast years ago. Serbia. I'm not going to do a stupid dark horse. I actually think the dark horses for me in the Euros are Germany and Spain. And people will say they can't be dark horses, but they can because their recent form doesn't match their reputation. I think if Germany or Spain win the Euros, they're not coming into it as favourites. And I think Germany might, with home advantage, surprise people. Ivory Coast were a dark horse in a World Cup. They're in the group of death years ago. I think it was Argentina, Ivory Coast, Serbia, and somebody else. And it was the group of death. They didn't get out of it. But they had some good players. The trouble with Ivory Coast is they had 5 or 6 good players that you knew about, but the rest of them were shit. What's the most boring game you've ever watched, Ray? Not on the teams, but the hype beforehand and the game going nowhere. World Cup final, Spain, Netherlands was fucking rubbish. Howard Webb was the ref as well, and he was rubbish. What a tackle that is by Marquinhos. That was the chance for Dortmund. Didn't even get the shot off because Marquinhos made the tackle. Lovely ball. Sancho played it as well. Great defending. I think England are favourites. I think England are going to win it, but I think we're favourites because just look at some of the players we've got: Bellingham, Kane, Foden, Saka. Uh, 5 minutes of normal time to go. There's never long added on. Oh, I've just seen the clip of the fly landing on my head. Oh, it did as well. Check my Twitter right at the start. It just went for me. Little fucker. We'll meet again. Well, we're into a key 5 minutes here. I'm sure PSG would love to get an equaliser, but they can't afford to concede another. Take it back to Paris next week. Both games, both seconds, interestingly, both semi-finals are set up lovely for Paris and Madrid. 2-2, Bayern and Madrid, Real. 1-0 here, Dortmund. Maybe it could have been more, but to be honest with you, the chances PSG have had in the second half, you could argue that actually it could have been, they could have scored some as well. But I think Dortmund will feel that it could have been 2. Oh, header over the bar then again. Just not been their night. Lovely play again. Some of their build-up, I mean, to be fair, second half, they both had the same amount of shots, virtually the same amount of shots on target. I think that I think it's been a good second half, I'm not going to lie. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're only a couple of hundred away from 148,000. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We are doing Spurs against Chelsea against Spurs tomorrow at Stamford Bridge. Spurs needing to win that if they want any chance of Champions League football. And, of course, Chelsea will still harbour hopes of getting some type of European football themselves. Fabian Ruiz is going to get 1 heading accuracy next FIFA, says Joe. Yeah, he has had a couple of chances, hasn't he? How's the game been, to Sebastian? I think it's been a good game, actually. I think they've both been very equally balanced. I think Dortmund winning by a goal is probably about right, but it sets it up nicely for the second leg. England will never win a big tournament, never, says PM. Bromley versus Solihull Moors is on TNT Sports on Sunday, says Dave. Red says, I think it's been a bad game. Well, I don't think either of these teams are going to get much out of Real Madrid, if I'm being honest. If Real Madrid go through. I think Dortmund Bayern would level it up because it's 2 German rivals, isn't it? I think Real Madrid are going to win this. And I think Bellingham will probably win the Ballon d'Or, having won the Champions League with Real Madrid and the Euros with England. Styrish thinks it's been boring. My mate, I think we've had some good chances second half. I don't know what you're watching. Into the last minute here. Terrible play there, though. The thing for Dortmund is it's really difficult in the second leg because you've got the win and it can make you play a little bit defensive, and PSG are going to play offensive. I think it's difficult when you go away from home in the second leg and you've only got a goal lead, because your natural tendency is we're through if it stays the same. So you do play a little bit deep, a little bit defensive, and PSG's mentality is, well, we've got to score goals. And then when they score a goal, Dortmund have got to change their plan. Another header over the bar. Be interesting to see how long Anthony Taylor adds on. Being an English referee who's used to adding on about 50 minutes, don't normally get that long added on. He's only added 4. It's amazing. Even when you've got English referees in the Champions League, they only add on 2 or 3 or 4. Yeah, in the Premier League, we'll get 9. I just don't understand what the Premier League are doing with that. We're the only league in Europe that adds on 9 or 10 minutes. In the Champions League and the Europa League and in the other leagues, they've kept it the same. It's barely ever beyond 5 minutes. Just had a small earthquake in Southern California, says Danny. Is that a euphemism, or have you actually had one? If you have, I hope everyone's okay. Apis says, rumour has it, PSG never practice heading. Whoa. I think in youth football in the UK now, you're not allowed to head it until under 12s. Might even be under 14s. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw heading taken out of football at some point. I mean, it's called football. I remember. But even like I'm not it's scientifically proven that there's a link between head trauma and dementia, isn't there? And we've seen it with some older players who have that. And the football was a lot heavier in the olden days. But I remember I used to go down the park and just boot the ball as high as I could and then head it. And you'd come back like dazed if you head it wrong. You know when you head the ball wrong, it catches the top of your head instead of your forehead. Bloody hell. I'd go down the local park and practice that for an hour or two. Jumping and heading the ball. Boot it as high as you can. We've had two. I think PSG are going to be taking a 1-0 loss to Paris, which leaves it very interesting for the second leg. Good result for Dortmund. Will it be enough? Will it be enough? Is Twitter down? Says Sean. I don't know. Ray Cowley says bad omen. All German final and German Euros. Fly update, says Rianne. Well, it hasn't shown itself for about an hour. I think it's dead. At the end of this stream, I'm going to pull out my desk. And if I find it, which I must, I'll photograph it and put it on Twitter. And I'll just put... I don't know. I wouldn't put a heart. To be honest, I don't like it, but... as I said, I can respect an adversary. The sinister thing will be if I can't fucking find it. That, to me, will just be a head loss. It's not a fly, it's a drone sent from Gary Neville, says Thomas. And that should be that, unless Dortmund can break away here. 30 seconds to go. Stop saying the fly is laying eggs, Paul. For one, it's sick, and for two, it sounds like you're getting turned on by it. And also, three, it makes it sound like you know a lot about flies, which is just fucking disgusting at the end of the day. No joke, felt light, but don't know where it originated. Just had one maybe a month ago. The big one is coming, says Danny. Well, stay safe, mate. Stay, mate, safe. Right, I'm off to work, do God's work and find this fucking fly. I will update you on Twitter. We're back on here tomorrow night for a watch-along. You've been absolute legends tonight. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. Good result for Dortmund, but it's still very much to play for in the second leg. Take care, everyone. Speak to you in a bit. Where's that fucking fly?